Most gardeners wait until the soil feels right, the weather looks perfect, and everything lines up before they plant anything in June. And that right there is exactly why their harvests come in late, thin, or not at all. What if I told you there are seeds that actually want to go into the ground this month, and if you miss this window, you won't get another chance until next year? These aren't exotic seeds from some fancy catalog either. Some of them are probably already sitting in your kitchen right now. Welcome back to Earthly Gardening, and if you are new here, you just landed in the right place at the right time. This channel is all about growing smart, spending less, and getting more out of every inch of your garden. Whether you have been here from the start or this is your very first video, I am genuinely glad you are here today. Before we get into it, do one quick thing for me. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss a video, because the tip coming at the end of this one is something most gardeners completely overlook and it could change how your garden performs for the rest of the season. Now let's get into it. Seed number 1, bush beans. Here is something most people don't realize. Bush beans actually perform better when planted in early to mid-June than when planted in spring. The reason is simple. They love warm soil. Cold soil slows them down, confuses their roots, and gives pests more time to find them while they are still struggling to get going. But June soil? That is exactly the temperature bush beans want to wake up in. You don't need to prep anything complicated. Loosen the soil about 6 inches down, push the seeds in about an inch deep, space them roughly 6 inches apart, water them in, and then mostly leave them alone. These are not needy plants. They don't want to be fussed over. They want warm ground, decent sunlight, and consistent moisture, and they will reward you with pods in as little as 50 days. The budget side of this is also worth mentioning. A single packet of bush bean seeds costs almost nothing and can fill an entire raised bed. You are not buying transplants, you are not buying special soil amendments. You are just putting seeds in warm ground and waiting. That is gardening at its most honest and most rewarding. And if you have leftover seeds from a previous packet, check them. Bush bean seeds stay viable for up to 3 years when stored in a cool, dry place, so there is a real chance you already have what you need sitting in a drawer somewhere. Seed number 2, cucumbers. Cucumbers have a reputation for being a spring vegetable, but that reputation is only half the story. What cucumbers actually are is fast. From seed to harvest, most varieties take between 50 and 65 days. So if you plant them in early June, you are looking at cucumbers in your kitchen by late July or early August, which is actually peak cucumber season in terms of weather and demand. The trick with cucumbers in June is keeping the soil consistently moist right after planting. The heat will try to dry things out quickly, and if the seeds sit in dry soil they will stall. A light layer of mulch over the soil after planting does most of the work for you. It traps moisture, keeps the soil temperature steady, and reduces how often you need to water. If space is a concern, cucumbers are incredibly happy growing vertically. A simple trellis made from sticks and old twine works perfectly. You get more cucumbers per square foot, better air circulation which reduces disease, and easier harvesting. All of that from a packet of seeds that costs less than a cup of coffee. One thing people also overlook is that cucumber plants produce more when you harvest regularly. The more you pick, the more the plant pushes out. So don't let them sit on the vine too long thinking they will get better. Keep harvesting and the plant keeps producing. Seed number 3, sunflowers. Stay with me here because I know sunflowers sound like a decoration choice rather than a practical garden decision. But sunflowers in a budget garden do more work than most people give them credit for. First, they attract pollinators. Bees, butterflies, and beneficial insects follow sunflowers, and once they arrive in your garden they pollinate everything else around them, which means better yields on your vegetables. Second, the seeds are edible. A single large sunflower head produces hundreds of seeds that you can roast, snack on, or save for next year's planting. Third, dried sunflower heads are winter food for birds, which keeps your garden ecosystem healthy even in the cold months. June is actually an ideal time to direct sow sunflowers because by the time they reach their full height and bloom, you are in the hottest and brightest part of the season. They will absolutely thrive. Push the seeds about an inch into the soil, give them full sun, and water them at the base. That is genuinely all they need. No fertilizer required if your soil has decent organic matter. And here is a lesser-known fact. Sunflower roots release compounds into the soil that can suppress certain weed growth. So while they are feeding your pollinators and feeding your family, they are also quietly doing some weed management for you. That is a lot of value from one seed. Seed number 4, kale. This one surprises people every single time. Kale planted in June does not behave the same way as kale planted in early spring, and that is actually a good thing. Spring kale rushes to bolt when summer heat arrives. It sends up a flower stalk, turns bitter, and becomes tough very quickly. But kale planted in June matures heading into the cooler weeks of late summer and early fall, which means the leaves stay tender, the flavor stays mild, and your harvest window stretches for months. There is also something called a frost kiss that experienced kale growers look forward to every year. When the first light frosts of autumn hit kale leaves, the plant converts some of its starches into sugars and the leaves become noticeably sweeter. So your June-planted kale is essentially building toward the best version of itself by the time October arrives. You are not just planting for summer. You are setting up a harvest that carries you deep into the colder months. Sow the seeds directly into the ground about half an inch deep and thin the seedlings to roughly 12 inches apart once they sprout. Kale is not picky about soil, but it does appreciate consistent watering, especially while it is getting established in the summer heat. Once it finds its footing though, it becomes one of the most low-maintenance plants in your entire garden. Before we keep going, if this is already changing how you think about June planting, drop a comment below right now. Tell me which seed has surprised you the most so far. I read every single comment and I genuinely want to know what is growing in your garden this year. And if you have not subscribed yet, this is a great moment to do that. Hit subscribe and tap the bell. We post practical no-fluff gardening content every single week and you do not want to miss what is coming next. Now let's keep going because we still have 4 more seeds to cover. Seed number 5, radishes. Radishes are the most underestimated seed in any garden. They grow so fast that new gardeners often think something went wrong because they are not used to seeing results that quickly. Some varieties go from seed to table in as little as 22 days. In June, with warm soil and good moisture, they move even faster. But here is how experienced gardeners actually use radishes, and this changes the way you think about them entirely. They plant radishes between slower-growing vegetables as space markers and soil looseners. You push radish seeds into the ground next to your carrots, your beans, or your peppers. The radishes sprout quickly, mark your rows clearly, and break up the top layer of soil as they grow. By the time your other vegetables need the space, you have already pulled and eaten the radishes. You got a harvest and improved your soil condition at the same time for the price of one small packet of seeds. June succession planting of radishes also means you can sow a small batch every 2 weeks and have a continuous supply coming in rather than everything maturing at once and going to waste. That kind of rolling harvest is one of the habits that separates gardeners who always have something to pick from those who feast and famine all season long. Seed number 6, zucchini. Zucchini is one of those vegetables that has a running joke attached to it. Once it starts producing, it does not stop and you will have more than you know what to do with. Neighbors start avoiding you. You leave bags on doorsteps anonymously. But all of that abundance starts with a single seed in June. Zucchini is a warm season plant that germinates best when soil temperatures are above 65 degrees Fahrenheit. In most growing zones, June soil hits that mark comfortably. The plant grows fast, the leaves get large and dramatic, and the fruit begins appearing within about 50 days of planting. What makes zucchini especially budget-friendly is that a single plant produces continuously for the entire season. You are not buying multiple plants or replanting every few weeks. One seed, one plant, months of food. Sow the seeds directly where you want the plant to grow because zucchini does not transplant well. Give it space, at least 3 feet around each plant, full sun, and water at the base to prevent mildew on those large leaves. And if you want to stretch your harvest even further, pick the zucchini when they are small, about 6 to 8 inches long. Smaller zucchinis taste better, have a softer texture, and signal the plant to keep producing at a faster rate. Seed number 7, Swiss chard. Swiss chard is the vegetable that quietly does everything right and never gets enough credit for it. It tolerates heat better than spinach, it keeps producing longer than lettuce, it grows in partial shade when most vegetables refuse to, and it looks genuinely beautiful in a garden with its bright red, yellow, and orange stems. All of that from a seed that most people walk right past at the garden center. Planting Swiss chard in June means it establishes during the warm months and then continues producing straight into fall and in mild climates even into early winter. You plant it once and harvest from it for months. The leaves can be eaten raw in salads when young and tender, or cooked like spinach when they are more mature. The stems can be sautéed separately and have a flavor and texture similar to celery. From a budget perspective, 1 packet of Swiss chard seeds contains enough to plant a row that will feed a family consistently for an entire growing season. Sow the seeds about ½ inch deep, space them 8 to 10 inches apart after thinning, and water regularly at the base. As long as you harvest the outer leaves and leave the center growth point intact, the plant will keep pushing out new leaves week after week. That kind of ongoing productivity is exactly what a practical garden should be built around. Seed number 8, the one from your kitchen. This is the one I mentioned at the very beginning, and I want you to think about this for a moment before I tell you what it is. What do you have in your kitchen right now that contains seeds? Something you probably bought this week. Something that gets eaten and the seeds get tossed away without a second thought. The answer is squash. But more specifically, it is the seeds from any squash or pumpkin you bought to eat. Those seeds are viable. They are already mature. They cost you nothing because you already paid for the vegetable. And June is the perfect time to rinse them off, let them dry on a paper towel for a day, and plant them directly in your garden. Now there is a small nuance here worth knowing. If the squash you bought came from a hybrid variety, the seeds might not grow exactly true to the parent plant, meaning the fruit you get could look or taste slightly different. But it will still be a squash. It will still grow. It will still produce food. And it will do all of that completely free of charge. This is the kind of gardening that connects people back to something genuinely real. Before seed packets existed and before garden centers were on every corner, this is exactly how everyone grew their food. They saved what they had and they returned it to the ground. There is something deeply satisfying about closing that loop in your own backyard, turning kitchen scraps into a harvest. So here is what your June garden looks like if you take even just a few of these and act on them today. Bush beans coming in by late July. Cucumbers followed shortly after. Sunflowers pull pollinators from across the neighborhood while quietly managing weeds. Kale building toward a sweet frost-kissed fall harvest. Radishes filling gaps, marking rows, and loosening soil. Zucchini produces more food than your family can finish. Swiss chard giving you continuous harvests from summer straight into winter. And squash growing from seeds that were heading straight to your bin. None of this requires a large budget. None of it requires special equipment or expert-level knowledge. What it requires is showing up in June with seeds and the willingness to put them in the ground while the soil is warm and the days are long. The biggest mistake gardeners make is waiting for the perfect moment. But the perfect moment for these seeds is right now. The soil is warm. The days are long. The conditions are genuinely ideal. Every week you wait is a week shorter than your harvest window becomes, and some of these windows only come around once a year. If you found real value in this video today, do me a favor and hit the like button right now. It takes 1 second and it helps this channel reach more gardeners who need this kind of practical, honest advice. Subscribe if you have not already and ring that notification bell so you catch every video we put out each week. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 8 seeds you are planting this June. Or if there is something growing in your garden right now that you think deserves a spot on this list. I genuinely want to hear about it. The community in the comments section here is one of the best parts of this channel, and your input shapes what we cover next. Thank you for spending time with me today at Earthly Gardening. Now stop watching and go get those seeds in the ground. The garden is waiting. I will see you in the next one.